What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Redbeard here, bringing you another War Thunder gameplay. That's right, we're going out in the British Mustang Mark 1A, and this is an aircraft review. That's right, you can tell by the title, aircraft review for the Mustang Mark 1A. And before we jump in, as I show you off some of these beautiful camos that you can unlock, that I have yet to unlock, I have the plain Jane Mustang Mark 1. But some of these camos, especially that Princess camo, is just absolutely stunningly gorgeous. But jumping in to the actual review here, I'm going to give you a brief history of the Mustang, because this is not the Mustang that the Americans use and was so famously brought to the main stage by the Tuskegee Airmen. It is in fact the very first version that was quickly developed after Pearl Harbor in 1941. In fact, only 150 Mark 1A models were ever produced, and all 150 were actually shipped over to the Royal Air Force, the RAF, to help battle the Germans over the skies of the Western European theater. Now, as you can tell, it has four 20mm Hispano cannons. As I go after this bomber here, and they just eat everything, just nom nom nom, give me kills. That's right, these things are just nasty, and I don't know exactly why they are so nasty, but the British knew something, and they got something right, because when the Mustang Mark 1A was shipped over to the RAF in early 1941, or excuse me, late 1941, early 1942, they saw the 50 caliber machine guns and they're like, no, that's not going to work. Let's put some 20mm Hispano cannons on it. Because at this time, the Germans were in their F-Series BF-109s and they were fitted out with their 20mm cannons. So the Brits had known for a long time that machine guns were not the way to go. It was the way of the 20mm cannons. Now, this does not have the supercharged Allison engine that the Tuskegee Airmen used, especially over the Battle of Berlin. This is in fact the original Mustang with a non-turbocharged, non-supercharged Allison V-style engine, which means it is slow. That's right, 670 kilometers at cruising altitude is the max this baby will ever get at, unless you go into a steep dive, which, as you can tell by the gameplay, is going to happen. That's right, this is a typical boom and zoom. Unfortunately, it forgot the zoom factor. This thing is not slow, and to go with it, its climb rate, especially for its late tier 3.7 battle rating, it is just, it's not fast, and it can't outclimb really anything. 18.3 meters per second, which for late tier 3, early tier 4 is just not good. So you may be saying, alright, well, why'd you spend the Golden Eagles to get this, Redbeard? Because it doesn't seem to be too good, and it's one redeeming factor. The one redeeming factor is these four 20mm Hispanos. Now, these are the same Hispanos that are in the Beaufighter, the same that are in the Typhoon that I got with the Ultra Advanced pack, which I like to call its big or little brother to this aircraft, because they are almost identical except for their climb rates. And I'll give you one reason why. You say, well, the Typhoon, faster climb rate, faster top speed, and pretty much more maneuverability at high speeds. Well, yes and no. The good thing about the Mustang, true to its American heritage and nature, is that this thing, when you do finally get it in a high-speed dive, is just entirely amazingly capable of just keeping its nose on the target. That's the best way I can explain it. Is I can be, and I'll show you a game footage here where I just go into an insane dive, and I'll jump on a BF-109 or a Spitfire, and this thing, it just keeps the nose on the target. And I don't know what it is with these 20mm Hispanos, because the Typhoon has the same exact ones, except on the aircraft at least, they're visibly spaced out farther. And I don't know if it's because the Hispanos on this baby are spaced just a little bit closer, but it just seems like when I put the convergence at 500mm, or excuse me, 500 meters, then it just seems to pack more punch. And I'll show you later. In this thing, I don't know, I feel like Clint Eastwood in this baby. I don't understand why. It can't outturn anything. Forgot to mention, its turn rate is horrendous. True to its American nature, 23.3 second turn time. You can't even outturn BF-109s in this bad boy. So, not good at boom and zoom. Can't outturn anything. The only redeeming feature I've shown you so far is the 20mm Hispanos. But as you can see, this baby can take a punishment and still fly. And you see in this dive, I'm on the Spitfire and I can just keep control so well. Unlike the BF-109s, if you're familiar BF-109 pilot, you know that at high speeds, as I pick up a nice double, almost a triple kill, but it just feels rickety in the BF-109 when you're in a fast dive, and you normally can't put your nose right where you need to at the last moment. This Mustang right here, you can, and it's just utterly amazing the damage you can actually output. As you can see here, zooming away, which that's the only way you can do it, high dive to get that speed, because this thing is slow. But fortunately for this Mustang Mark 1A, I fell in love with it, and I don't know why I fell in love with it, because it's not that great, and I have to change. As you see, we're just getting utterly destroyed, and I'm not doing really anything in this domination gameplay to help out the team. But I don't know why, I just feel invincible in this bad boy, and I take unnecessary risks as I jump in another head-on. Oh man, but as you can see, pull away, and these cannons, I don't understand. They just feel like they're the best cannons in the game. It doesn't matter if I'm going against P63s, P39s, they may have the 37mm cannon, but these 420s, I just feel invincible. As I take on this B17, I feel like Clint Eastwood. I just don't, I just go up to everybody, hey, you feeling lucky, punk? As I go after this B17. The B17 has a huge reputation for being just this fighter killer with all its machine guns. As I jump after this Euro 2, I actually can't even get the Euro 2 to go down, but I get the B17. I don't know what it is about this Mustang, but I feel invincible. And so that's the whole review, really, is it's terrible at climbing. It can't out-climb anything. It can't out-zoom anything. It can't out-turn anything. But there is something about this aircraft that just, it makes me feel like the bad boy on the block. I don't understand. And that's the way I use it, is when I finally do get up to altitude, I just play the bully that won't let anybody else come up here. Everybody else can duke it down at the bottom of the map. I don't care about that. But anytime I get over 4,000 meters, anybody wants to come up to 4,000 meters, they have to pass through me. The bully on the block in his Mustang with his 420 mils. And I don't know what it is. I just take unnecessary risks, and 9 times out of 10, I just come out on top. I don't understand. I'll take on B-24s, Euro 2s, B-17s. It does not matter what bomber it is, you're going down. And that's the only way I can explain this aircraft, is it's bad on paper. It really is a bad aircraft on paper. But in arcade, with the cannons, it just obliterates anything and everything you point the nose at. And that's the thing. As you can see, diving down at 800 kilometers an hour, and there isn't a vibration to be felt. Right now, I'm finally getting a little bit of vibration, but I can just keep the nose anywhere. Just, you know, put on those combat flaps, and this baby is just as steady as, I don't know, it feels like you're flying with just the best polished wings, the best polished airframe. It doesn't matter what aircraft you're going up against. This aircraft just makes you feel confident. It embodies confidence, and in high-speed dives, you can just outturn practically anything. Aside from the Typhoon, which is, like I call it, it's a big brother. But as I take on these Air Cobras here, I feel so confident. I know for a fact in arcade this Air Cobra can outturn me. It can outclimb me. It can outdive me. As I lose him here in my almost blackout turns here. But this baby is just amazing. I don't understand what it does to me, but I love it. And that's the only reason I would say buy this aircraft, is if you're going to go in realistic battles, you're really going to get outclimbed, outdove, and outflown by practically anything. But if you can point the nose at a target, the plane that you're behind or in front or head on, however you're attacking, will be obliterated if you can get the nose on the target. And in arcade, I can't explain it, guys. I just cannot explain the feeling I get when I fly this aircraft. It is just utterly amazing how many risks I take and I come out on top. I take unnecessary risks. I go on head-ons I shouldn't. I take on aircraft I shouldn't. I take on Focke-Wulf 190s. And I'm just like, you're mine. I don't care. You can outclimb, outdive, outturn me. I don't care. You're going down. And 9 times out of 10, that's the way it happens. And I'm just going to say it's the 20mm Hispanos and the great engineering that the Americans put into their aircraft in this game, because they just feel especially in high-speed dives. They just feel amazing as I take on another Air Cobra, and he can out-climb, out-dive, but one just burst with these 20 mils, and I take out his tail, and he goes down. So, take on one more risk here, and unfortunately, the 9 times out of 10, I actually get taken out here. But that's my review, guys. Commentary's coming to a close. Hope you enjoyed it. This aircraft is 100% worth it, especially if you're an arcade guy and you need something aside from your Spitfires and Beaufighters if you don't have the Ultra Advanced pack. 100% worth it. Guys, I love this aircraft. I can't explain it on paper. It's garbage, but I love it. Commentary's coming to a close. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I will see you in the skies.